All right, Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
We're the brothers from the GMS Atlanta camp. We want to start off by giving all glory and infinite praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakadash. Double honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. They're teaching, they rule well. Salutations unto the Akim throughout the four corners that are putting their life on the line week in and week out, in season, out of season, to prophesy the gospel of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, to make their calling and election sure. And salutations to the few women and children that subscribe to this truth and faith and sincerity, all charity and subjection, because that is the key. Now, we just wanted to come real quick. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, and it lightens brother's spirit as to Esau being on his last leg, man. I showed brothers before we cut on the camera a picture of a Edomite woman standing on the side of the road with crutches, with one leg missing, begging for change, man. And she had on the paper, on my last leg. That's a spiritual sentiment to go along with that picture, because that's literally Esau here in this society, man. That Esau is on his last leg, man. And when you're on your last leg, you're dependent on things. You're dependent on another. Esau is dependent on these other nations to uphold him. Esau is dependent on Jake staying in a docile sleep state, away from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, so his kingdom can continue to stand, man. Because if Jake ever wakes up wholeheartedly towards Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Esau would have been out of power 1,000 years ago, man. But because Jake is hard-headed and stiff-necked, man, the Lord still has us here serving out this punishment, man. But the good news is what the scriptures say, man. Esau's on his last leg. He on his way up out of here, man. So there's no reason for brothers to be in the spirit of, that woe is me spirit. I'm tired. It's cold outside. To hell with that, man. Esau's on his last leg. It's like when you catch somebody in a ring. Once I see you stumble, and I see you've been dazed, you're supposed to apply more pressure. Not let up and let him catch his second wind, man. You apply more pressures to him to get the knockout. And that's what we're in crunch time, man. We're in press time. Because we're coming into the most demonic season of the year, man. And this is Esau season. Winter solstice. This we gotta apply more pressure. We gotta rev up, man, because Esau's on his last leg. And if you had something, you can put it.
You want that Revelation 12?
Yeah, you can bring that Revelation 12 out, Baba Bashar.
All right, this is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
And Esau know that he has but a short time. It said, what did it say in the beginning? It says, rejoice ye heavens. And who are part of those heavens? That's us, man. We're part of that angelic force of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because our spirit is not here on earth, it's in the heavens with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's why our treasures are placed at, man. That's why our treasures lie. But it says, one to you, the inhabitants of the earth. You read that, Baba Bashar?
All right, Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
So destruction unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, and that's man upon the face of the earth, man. So if you ain't in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you should be in a woeful spirit, a spirit to know that you're destined for destruction. So continue.
For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
And who's that deceiver? That's Esau, man. The white man. He is coming down with a great wrath. Now he's in the spirit of because everything about him is being exposed. He's an angry little kid now. Now he wants to get his lick back. He's starting to see that, damn, Tim, I thought you were for me. Damn, Billy, I thought you were for me. Now he's becoming angry, man. He's understanding, people are not on my side like I thought they were. That's because of his pride, and we're gonna get to that as well, man. And because of Esau, through his pride, he thought things were one way when they really weren't. Now that he's starting the dust is starting to settle, he's actually seeing the truth of what it is. Folks don't fuck with Esau, man. So he's becoming angry now. And who's he's gonna take that anger out on? He's gonna take it out on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans first, man, because that's what this is all about. Him getting his birthright back. And inherently, what's the word? Basically, his people are just collateral damage. He hates Jake so much, and he needs to vent that anger towards somewhere and something is gonna be towards the Israelites. He's always hated us, man. His people are just gonna be a collateral damage in that day, man.
I got something, but
You got it.
That's something after that.
This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken over wine, therefore the nations are mad. So you got a whole democracy spirit that's going around. It's backfiring, man. Look what's going on in Bolivia right now, man. Look what's going on in Chile, Ecuador, these South American countries, Hong Kong. All right, that whole spirit of democracy and giving people rights and homosexuality, transgenderism, all this freakism going on is backfiring Esau. These nations that took the goodies, so to speak, from Esau to accept gay rights and all this other stuff under democracy, it's backfiring. And people are starting to realize that so-called white man is the devil. If you go to like RT News or TRT News, you'll see, all right, these people on these so-called Eastern countries, man. They'll say the white man is the problem. All right, and that's through the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai putting his men out there to expose this man.
I think the Arabs over there in the Middle East, like you mentioned, I think they call him the Great Satan. I think that's what they call him. I seen something, a recent video. They was over there protesting the United States and Donald Trump. And it was one of them Ishmaelites holding big ass signs said basically America's like basically the great devil, man.
Good.
You know, so basically Esau, like it says in even Jeremiah 49, tell you that Esau skirt's gonna be lifted, man. You know, so he's being revealed, man. That devil, that serpent, the wicked. You know, we in a time where they being revealed, man, and start from the prophets. Glad you got it.
Oh, I'll finish on that.
Okay.
Oh, you got what you.
Yeah, I had something linking back with that Revelation 12. Brother brought that out, showing that Esau is about to wild out on your tribes, mainly, man. This is second Ezra 16, and I'm gonna get right to the point, verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Which today is talking about Esau. They're gonna be like madmen in these times, man. And those that fear the Lord is talking about the Israelites. It says 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Because we know, like the brother said, this is Esau's last hurrah, man. So he's gonna try to fight tooth and nail to keep his kingdom afloat, which means also try to get rid of as much Israelites as possible. But we know, according to prophecy, it ain't gonna happen, man. You know? You got it.
All right, you was that was it on that?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, this is Obadiah, going back into a point that the brother had spoke on earlier. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. And who are those men of Esau's confederacy? The same people that he put his foot on in there. And it was in the spirit of get down or lay down.
Yeah.
And you know, these heathens seen what happened to Annie. Hey, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, everybody was like, yo, you know that one Jake, everybody in there fist fighting, and then one Jake come off in the saloon and fire that gun off. Like, hey, shit, you got it. That's literally what the world did to Esau when he dropped that bomb, man. So these nations, they signed any contract to keep them alive, man. So of course they were confederate with Esau and coming against our people. But it says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. These same nations that he put that get down and lay down or whatever. And if you bully a guy or whatever, and of course he's gonna go along with you. And after a while, he's gonna become a yes man. Yeah. And that's what the nations were doing to Esau. They became yes men, but it was with a cause, man. They had ulterior motives, man. It says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat bread, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So the nations have laid a wound under you because through Esau implementing this petrodollar, the United States dollar, this was the world currency. The entire world began to trade in it. But at the same time, you're using their resources, man. So Esau is dependent on the nations just as well as the nations are dependent on Esau. But they laid a wound under Esau to a point that Esau became a bigger importer than he was an exporter. So these nations laid a wound under Esau to a point that Esau depends on these nations just to keep this place alive, man. Like Babylon cannot stand on its own by itself, man. It has to have many working parts. Just as a body has arm, it has legs, it has a torso. These are all a part of Esau's system. That's how his system was able to come into play through these other nations as well, man. And now these nations have finally gotten to a point in which they're actually strong and they're standing up to Esau. And they're letting Esau know his bullshit now, man. These nations are not playing. But to finish off, it says, Salah, I did finish it, but I'll read back. It says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. So they were dependent on the Esau at one point. But you know how it is, like when you beg, you eat a little bit, but you put a little bit back. You eat a little bit, you put a little bit back until you come to find out that little bit that you was putting back. I got a whole sack of bread now. I don't need to ask you for table scraps anymore. Now I'm finna go out here and fend for myself and get it on my own. And that's what these nations have done, man. All right. It says, there is none understanding in him. And there's no understanding in Esau because we're given the understanding and yet he still can't see it. You have the prophets out before you. Why is this happening? How is this allowed to happen? Why is this going on? It's because the prophets are out. There's no understanding in Esau. We are telling Esau to his face and showing him through scriptures how these nations are going to do to him, what they're doing to him, and he still, for some reason, think that, hey, our houses shall continue forever. Man, what can you do to a man like that, man? I'm showing, I led you to water, I'm splashing, it's wet, you can drink it. Look, the plants are growing. If he doesn't believe it, that's on him, man. There's no understanding in Esau. You get it?
Yep. Got a precept going on, backing you up on that. This is Revelation 17 and 16. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Like you said, these nations that was once, allies with America, like it says, like brother, the brother read in Obadiah, the ones of that confederacy, your so-called allies, NATO and the EU. Hey, how about Shem Yahushua is moving these chess pieces around to ultimately come against the whore, man, which the whore is who? The whore is America. All right, which is basically controlled and spearheaded by Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right, it says verse 17, for the Most High put in their hearts to fulfill his will. You see? So it's all by the will of the Lord, man. Proverbs 21 and 1 say what? The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth it whithersoever he will. As I mentioned, these different nations, China, Russia, these so-called the damn Islamic State, over in the Middle East, all of that, those are just chess pieces, man, that Yahweh is using to bring down the system. It says, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So for a period of time, these nations is down with the beast system that Esau running, but hey man, pretty soon they all gonna turn against each other, and mainly the main target is gonna be America.
Yeah,
all right. They're gonna have all the missiles, the missile little targets are gonna be directed right at Babylon the Great. Because why? It's the Most High word being fulfilled, man. You got it.
All right, this is you had something?
Yeah,
you got it. You can put it.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna bring out this scripture. This is Jeremiah 51 and 8.
Yeah.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up to the sky. So, meanwhile, all this stuff is going on outside the world. America is broken down, man. The so-called morality of this country is broken down. The infrastructure of this place, the freeway system is through. There's potholes everywhere on the roads. Not going to fix that. The education system is finished. Because everything is going towards war, towards World War III. This whole place knows America. The homeless rate is off the chain in every city. All right. Yep. They're trying to build these cities up. All right, like it says in Malachi, was it the first chapter? But the Lord is bringing it down right now, and He's going to further bring it down. With the nukes, man. But everything you see, we keep telling you, America is through, man. The spirit of these holidays are finished. Yeah. So there's nothing left for this place except for thermal nuclear destruction. And there's scriptures like Jeremiah 50 and 51 that bring out the destruction of Babylon. That's how we know that this is America.
Yep. That's what to add before the brother get his precept. I was just thinking, if I'm not mistaken, when you research the ancient Roman Empire, it went out through the same process, man. Their roads were basically all ruined and old.
Yeah.
Yep.
What I forget the word for it, but basically they were overgrown roads. Overgrown roads.
Yep. The coinage was being devalued by the each however time was being more and more devalued.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, they was cutting it. They was cutting the dinero because it was actually made of silver at one point. And Brother Barzal always.
That's what I thought about it. Barzal.
It got to a point where they were literally putting like 5% silver in there, and the rest of it was just pure metal, man, just hard metal, like it was worthless. And that's literally what we've gotten to here in America. But when we tell people this, they can't see it. Why? Because the Lord has blinded them, man. There's no understanding in these people.
That's right.
You got it up.
That's right. You have preset?
Yeah. If I'll let you can pull what
okay. This is just to back up, brother. This is on Isaiah 21. I'm getting right to the point. Isaiah 21 and 9. It says, "And behold, here cometh a chariot of men and a couple of horsemen. And he answered and said, Babylon is fallen, and all the graven images of her gods hath he broken unto the ground." And that's heavy, because that's what we do through the spirit. On a spiritual sense, we're doing that right now through pushing this word out, man. We're tearing down the graven images, man. Going into these false religions and false philosophies. For example, Christianity. That's a religion or graven image that's been set up in America, but it's being brought down. But then it's going to manifest on a physical level. All right, when Yahweh Shem Yahushua launched those through these nations, I should say, launch those missiles, man. Where it's going to physically break down these idols and images, man, and the whole infrastructure is going to be done away with, man.
I got a quick research.
Yep.
Was you done?
Yeah. Yep. That was it.
This is Psalms chapter 2. I'll start at verse 1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?" And we know we ain't got to keep going through who the heathen, but the top heathen is Esau. The scriptures tell you that their inward thought, that their houses shall continue forever, unto all, basically, unto all their generations, the water. So that's the thought of Esau. It says, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?" Why do you think that you could actually do all this? You could commit all these atrocities and commit all this wickedness on the face of the earth, and the Lord not judge you for it, man? Why do you think that this should continue any further, man? As the brother was going into, a kid, you can't even tell the difference between a man or a woman at this point. It's a damn shame that my daughter has to ask me, "Daddy, is that a woman? Daddy, is that a man?" The hell, man? Why should this continue, man? Why do these people imagine a vain thing? But I'm gonna finish off at the verse 4. It says, "The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh Shem Yahushua and his anointed." So all of these nations are coming together. Donald Trump, Kim Jong-un is bugged out as the media is trying to make him seem. These nations have came together under the banner in the spirit of Esau, man, the ultimate heathen. That's the spirit that they come in, and it's to come against Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
That's right.
Because they hate Israel, and we are Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So of course Esau, the ultimate heathen, is gonna hate the righteous, man. But continuing, it says, verse 3, "Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh." And who is that he? Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. And the Lord is looking down upon all of this, as we have been saying. Esau's on his last leg. So all of this stuff that's going on, the Lord is sitting in the heavens and he's laughing, man. It says, "Then he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall have them in derision. And that's the point. The Lord will have Esau in derision in that day, man, because these people, Esau has gotten inside of the mind of the people to actually think that nothing will ever happen to America. You got that? Matter of fact, let this brother, and then I'll jump back to this to make the point.
This is Isaiah 14:16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
And that's that we're entering that time now, man. Why else are we setting up here doing a live stream in Esau's kingdom? Why else are we on the highways and byways pushing day in and day out, man? Why is that? Why is Esau now getting on YouTube deleting entire pages, man? Just because of a word, one word out of place or whatever, Esau's taking you off YouTube. It's because of these prophecies are coming to pass. You read that one more time, Baba Bishop?
This is Isaiah 14:16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
That's why the nations are getting up and actually and speaking against Esau, because there shall be a day in which the people of the earth shall actually say, Yo, is this the man? Is this the man that dropped the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima? Is this the man that created Dervish dose? Is this the man that went throughout America, buying up a massive amount of land to turn these supermarkets into concentration camps to torture the Israelites? Is this the guy? Is this the guy that actually took over all known land on the planet Earth? These things shall be said, but it'll be said with in the spirit of disdain. Is this the motherfucker? That's really what we're gonna be saying. Is this nigga? Lord, no. It had to be a power that was to be behind him. That's what that statement is entailing. Yo, it had to be a mighty power for this motherfucker right here that we got up under our foot now to have done all these things, man.
Right.
You wanted to bring something up?
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, you got it.
This is Psalms 37 and 35. It says, I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree, which I believe is going into Esau's military. His military is basically stretched, going back to the Roman Empire, same thing. The military got stretched thin, man, which caused them to become weak. It says, 36, yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yet I sought him, but he could not be found. Talking about Esau being taken out of power. Good. Going back to that Isaiah 14, man, where the nation's gonna say, is this the man that caused the nation to tremble? Because why? He's gonna be brought down. He's gonna be exposed, man. Power's gonna be taken away by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yep.
That was okay. I jump back. Verse 5. Matter of fact, I read up in verse 4. It says, He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, Yahweh shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath. So the Lord is going to speak unto these people in his wrath, man. The Lord came out of the heavens and spoke with the people yet? No, man. This is yet to come. It says, and vex them in his sore displeasure. And I'll jump down to get to the point. Verse 9, it says, matter of fact, I'll read it 8, because it's just for the boost the spirit. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. And that's the earth. So if you vexed in the spirit, hey man, Edom might vex you in the spirit, ask for the Lord to give them to you in the kingdom of heaven as a slave. Hey, that should quench your anger then on and keep it moving, man. But continuing, it says, thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. That's what's coming to Esau, man. That we shall actually possess Esau in the same manner in which he possessed us, but we'll actually have spiritual power, and we'll be doing it in righteousness and not wickedness, man. Yeah. We'll be doing it according to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You want to say something?
Yeah, because the scriptures say, render him double, man. So it's all types of scriptures also say we're gonna meditate terror, man. So there's gonna be a whole bunch of terror that we're gonna put on Esau, but we're gonna do it, in righteousness.
You had what you had?
I can bring this out real quick. It's Job 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. You see, that's who's the wicked. Like you always bring out, it's the so-called white man, Esau. All right, Job 9:24. All right, his triumphing, meaning his rulership, his time and authority is short, man. That's why you see all the prophecies taking place that line up with basically the time frame of Esau going down, man. And it says I read the last part again. It says that verse 5, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
Hey, you'll read back up a verse and let me bring this precept up because I wanted to make a point.
Sorry, 4.
Yeah, kind of.
It's Job 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old?
Oh no, the 5.
Okay, comment. Verse 5, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
Yeah, and that but for a moment is now, man. But you will have to. Jake has to meditate on the fact of why how is it that Esau got to this point? Is because these people actually do think that they're in good case, man. But the Lord said he should have them in derision. To be placed in derision is in to be made a sport of ridicule. So the Lord is gonna sit up in the heavens just like, you stupid motherfuckers, you thought you really had it. I just jump right quick to it. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Tell me how that is in America now. That the Lord is telling you, hey, they're gonna give you the bread and circus show. And that's what our people are suffering from. Why else is Jake out here getting stabbed to death over fucking chicken sandwich? Jake really think our people as well think that they're in a good case, man. Shoot, man, Popeye just came out with a new chicken sandwich. You sounding like Baby D talking to Day, man. It's a bad night. No, man. It's death coming to you niggas, man. You people actually think that they're in a good case, man. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Death hasn't stopped with all these great so-called great things coming on the face of the earth for the entertainment of these idiots. Missile food, really. With all of these things coming on the face of the earth, Esau was still committing more wickedness. He's still setting up concentration camp. He's still sharpening his sword. He's still putting together more guillotines. He's still creating new cauldrons for you niggas, man. Yeah. All of these things. So who cares if they drop the chicken sandwich to $1, man? You niggas got death coming towards you. But that's because the Lord got our people in a trick bag, man. Yeah, it's only right Esau believes it. But for you serious-minded Jakes, here it is. You're broke. Your kids don't listen to you. Your woman don't listen to you. Esau's putting his foot up your ass at the workplace. And if Esau ain't putting his foot in your ass, you got another Jake trying to backdoor you to get you the hell up out of there just because he just don't like your spirit, man. With all of this, you think Jake would be serious about getting the hell up out of this place, man? Right. Jake is not serious about getting up out of here, man. That's why Jake has to die, because Jake really thinks that he's in a great case, man. Now you can go back to that Baba Bishop.
It's Job 20, starting back at verse 5.
Verse 5.
It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
That's for our people too, man. So that's this but for a moment. It ain't gonna last too long, man. You can continue. You party one night and then you worried about bills the next day. So the hell, man. That's a nigga for you, man. That's Jake. That's Jake, man. You got it.
Yep. It say verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
Like his own shit. Esau got all of this stuff going on in this society. You got women you got Israelite women throwing themselves at Esau, which lets you know what type of power Esau got right now, man. And the Lord said, with all of that excellency, with all that high mind and that proudness, for you to lift your head up towards the heavens, towards Yahweh Shem Yahushua himself, that's a distasteful thing in the sight of the Most High, because you're putting yourself on a level as if though he didn't put you in that position. Yeah. The Lord said you should perish like your own dung, man. A piece of shit, man. I don't, even though it came out of my body, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to have no dealings with it, man. That's the rejected portions that my body could not process, man. And that's how Esau's gonna be. Is the earth shall reject him in that day, man. The Lord said it himself. He should perish as his own dung, man.
Then, if I can add too, that's like you said, that's really Yahweh Shem Yahushua putting Esau on that high pedestal, just so you can show his power when he bring him down, man.
Right.
Like he did the same thing with Pharaoh. You know, he basically puffed him up, gave him that pride, so the Lord could demonstrate his power, man. Mm-hmm. So the Lord gonna do the same thing with Esau. Gave him all his riches, gave him the fatness of the earth. You know, let him get his technology, his space force. You know, basically, hey, let him damn it. You know, pretty much think that he's on the most high level. Mm-hmm. Also, the Lord can show his power by bringing this devil down, man.
God.
You know. Okay, I'm gonna finish this verse 7. It says, "Yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?"
God.
Verse 8. It says he shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Yeah, it's Esau, man. Esau's gonna be a thing of the past, man.
You know?
Yep.
Go through the books, comb through it.
That's right.
Hey, yo, have you heard of the word Edomite?
That's right.
You're gonna have to go into the archives, man.
Yeah, your rulership and you being on top is gonna be like a damn dream, man.
God.
You know? And this rulership is really short compared to the other empires that rule. That's why I said joy is but for a moment, man. Mm-hmm. You know, and this rulership is gonna be a damn, you know, like Thanos snapping his fingers. It's gonna be just a thing of the damn thing of the past, man.
God.
You know? You got it.
You got it.
God. Obadiah, I started verse 3.
Yes.
It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Yeah, so, you know, basically going into, you know, our brother, you know, going into Esau is basically just proud, man. You know, it says, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Which, you know, that pride is really the worst spirit that you can have on you.
Yeah.
Because the scriptures say, pride goeth before destruction.
That's right.
You know? So literally, Esau is destruction. He's the man of destruction. With him being so proud and, you know, basically, you know, boasting his technology, boasting his, you know, his gift, which is the sword. You know, that's basically how he's proud. You know.
Yeah, just to add to the brother's point, the brother was saying that pride is the worst spirit you can have on you, because the greatest spirit that the Lord can really give you is humility, man. A humble spirit.
That's right.
And that's that he works and used those spirits. That's why he spoke of Moses. The meek is upon the earth. That was a super humble spirit. And he did great things to bring our people, to deliver our people from Egypt. You got it, dog.
Yeah, I'll just keep going. Who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4, thou shalt exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. Yeah, because you mentioned how Esau, you know, wants to be like the Most High. You know, so that's what all this AI technology and, you know, Star Wars, whatever, I think it's called the Star Wars program they have, which is to go in the firmament, you know, go in the heavens. You know, so Esau is trying to, you know, basically get out there. You know, he wants to be a god, basically, like brothers are going into. It says, if thieves come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not have some grapes?
Yeah, so Esau, you back in the ancient world, hey, a man would leave you with something, man. Esau is completely stripped the earth naked and bare, man. It's a desert. He leaves nothing for anybody. Why? Because he's a greedy bastard. He's a niggard, man. And because the scriptures tell us that what you're supposed to leave a tenth of your vineyard for the people that are homeless, you know, may need a bite. Esau said, "To hell with that, man. I grew it. It's mine. I'm putting it up. And as a matter of fact, let me get yours as well." Even though he had no hand in bringing up that vineyard. That's the spirit of Esau, man, to be a niggard.
Yep, that's right.
You got it.
That's right. Well, that was, you know.
That was the point.
Yeah, I mean, you can read that whole chapter, but
Yeah, it would be this for a whole other hour. You got to, man.
It's Isaiah 13 and 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So it's like that point where you know how the Lord heightened up the pride of Pharaoh. He's doing it here in America with the new Pharaoh, you know, Esau Edom. You know, you got Donald Trump in office, you know, to the point where you got Jake even vote for Donald Trump now.
Yeah.
You know, so we definitely at the end, man, but that the arrogancy of the proud will cease. All these things that he's doing on our people that our people willingly or unwillingly know about, like these different experiments, the Tuskegee experiments, when he went down there to Guatemala to experiment on Zebulon, the different experiments that he does on this whole Popeye's chicken thing, that's an experiment on Jake. All these things that he does against our people to get us to go off, because the scriptures talk about the accuser of our brethren is cast down. He's complaining to the Most High. Look at your people over here, man. They eating pork, they committing adultery. But that's why the Lord got a remnant that's going to be saved from this destruction. And that also goes into 2/3 of our people too, because they have a prideful spirit.
That's right.
Our people wake up as if the Most High didn't wake their funky ass up every day, man. They wake up in that same spirit because the scriptures say you are the father of the devil, man. So our people take after this devil.
that's right.
I got a quick precept.
This
is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. It says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him and maketh him drink, maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look upon their nakedness." And that's what Esau did, man. Because the only reason our people follow Esau is because of this doctrine. He came through with this doctrine through the sword. And we understand that doctrine and wine are synonymous when dealing in the scriptures, man. Depending on how it's worded. But it's speaking on Esau philosophy going throughout the earth, and he forced folks to drink it. It wasn't that these nations or our people willingly drunk it down. We were forced to, and through it our people became drunk, and so did these other nations, man. Why? So Esau could exploit you, because when you're naked, you're exposed, man. There's no form of protection, man. When you're naked, there's no warmth, there's no heat, you're exposed to the elements. And that's what Esau likes to keep the nation. He likes to keep people in a dependent state of him and keep them at a particular level that he can always use you at his discretion, man. All right, verse 17, it says, and this is the point going back to why we did this lesson, Esau being on his last leg, man. This is it, man. How else are we here doing this lesson right now? Because he's on his last leg. This place is up out of him.
Yeah.
Verse 16, it says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory." So all of that, hey, we had you guys in slavery. Yeah, we went and we destroyed the Seminole Indian. We destroyed the Native American Indian. Yeah, we dropped Fat Boy Little Man on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. These same things, you claiming you were the great Roman conquerors, the great Greek conquerors. You were the great hunters of the Northwest. All of these things that you gloried yourself in is becoming your shame, because you wrote your history, man. You wrote your own letter of confession, man. And now we're just bringing these charges back against you through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered." And that's what's going on now. His foreskin is being uncovered by way of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai through the mouth of his prophets, man. All right. It says the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. And we know the Lord speaking on the right hand, that's the power. That's a power move. He said, hey, with his right hand, you ain't pushing that back, man. If a man grabs you with his dominant hand, hey, yo, you ain't pushing his cup back. The Lord said, hey, have that there. What did he say earlier that we was going into? He said you was going to surely drink it down, man. You're going to drink it down to the very dregs. The worst and the most despicable parts of you should drink down, man. All right. Yeah, that was really the point on that. Did you have something?
Yep, real quick. If you didn't have any more.
Nah, that was it.
Okay, this is Isaiah 32 and 5. Because brother made the point of basically Esau being exposed, man. All the secret works that he's doing, you know, it's all being brought to the forefront, man. This is Isaiah 32 and 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, which Esau is a vile, despicable human being. You know, which at one point, which still in the eyes of many people, he's looked at as God. He's pure. He's never wrong. He's an almighty, great so-called white man. You know, but now what? He's no longer being called liberal, man. Now he's being looked at as so-called as a pedophile. Bombing so-called innocent countries. You know, stealing their resources. You know, damn witchcraft is being exposed. You know, all that history.
Yeah.
The bloody history of the so-called white man in America is all being brought out, man.
Yeah.
It says the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. I think you look at that word churl, essentially it means basically a low grade individual. You know, and that's the so-called white man's true nature. But in the eyes of these people, he's looked at as bountiful, beautiful. Like I said, he's just like the great almighty Esau.
That's why the Lord spoke on shameful spewings, because he spoke on the right hand. That was the point I wanted to make. If I pass on a brother something with my right hand, he can't pass it back to me with his right hand. You have to do it with your less dominant hand. You have to do it with your left. And if the Lord is saying that glory, it should be shame for his glory. If you keep pushing a cup of wine back and forth, he's pushing it with his left, I'm pushing it with my right, and I just force it into you. That shameful spirit goes on them clean garments, man. Now is no hiding your shamefulness, man. It's no, you can't say, yo, I'm white, I'm pretty and clean.
Right.
No,
exactly.
It's all over you, man. Your shame is ever before you. And that's what this precept is alluding to as well, man. Is nowhere in the world that Esau can hide from the filthiness that he's committed on the planet Earth at this point, man. It's all over your garment, man. The only thing to do now is for you to take off the garment, and you're really gonna be embarrassed. You're really gonna be exposed. But that's for the Lord to do, man. Right now, we're here just to rock the boat a little bit, to put a couple of stains on your garment, man. Because the Lord is gonna do the ultimate embarrassing by stripping Esau bare before the nations, man. He's gonna do it in the sight of the world, man. What you got?
Yep. I'll read this last verse. It's on verse 6. It says for the vile person shall speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. And that's basically what the so-called white man did, man. You know, you look at his whole rap sheet, his track record, everything he did is contrary to the scriptures, man. You know, by basically speaking error against the Most High. You know, first and foremost saying that there is no God, then turning around and saying that he is God. You know, and then it said basically he took away essentially the bread and the water from the hungry and the thirsty, which is the Israelites, man. Meaning he hid this truth. Yeah. You know, and fed us lies and plantation Christianity, man.
Jack ain't got shit to live for.
That's right.
Damn, that's cold. That's cold, right?
Yeah. Yep. That was pretty much it, though. You brothers got it.
Yeah, come. You guys yours?
Yeah, I got something. I'm Isaiah 47. I'm gonna go to verse 3. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So this is ultimately Yahweh Shai coming back, all right, according to Isaiah the 63rd chapter, man. He coming with dyed garments from Basra. All right, this whole setup is going to be destroyed by Yahweh Shem Shai. He's going to send his son Yahweh Shai. It mentions in Revelation 1:7, he's going to come for those that pierced him. Those are those same Edomites that pierced Yahweh Shai. They're back on the earth today, man. It could be like General Mad Dog or somebody like that, some top Edomite general or something. But before that, all right, before the Lord gets busy on the world and he uses his men, he's going to send the prophets out to expose Esau. Esau is getting to a point where the internet is about to be shut down, man. This isn't 1945 where you can't look at the so-called white man in the face no more, man. We out there exposing them. All right, we're not carnal, we're spiritual, but we're out there exposing them. We couldn't do this back in the 30s and 40s, man. All right, but ever since the spirit, ever since 1969 came and went, man, we've been out here through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, reading this devil his right. I mean, reading this devil his sentence, man, which is 1,000 years of hardcore slavery and extermination after that.
That's right.
That's the if a brother what the part where the brother read that Yahweh Shai will not meet thee as a man. That's another reason as to why Esau's on his last leg, because he's putting all his money into the Space Force now, man. That's why you people taxes have went up. Why? Because Esau don't believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, but he believes in the evidence that has been left here. And Esau believes, if this guy actually comes back and he comes out of heaven, we need to be prepared for this. Well, where can we cut some more money at? The hell with this education. These niggas are stupid anyway. How people to believe anything. Let's strip that. Let's put it into the Space Force. Because they believe that Yahweh Shai will not meet him as a man, which he won't. So therefore, Esau is going through every couch, every nook and cranny he can, trying to scrunch up all the change, man, to put towards fighting Yahweh Shem Shai, man. But you got it.
That's it on that.
You have something?
Yeah, I'll bring this out. Second Ezra 13, and I started at 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Yeah, because the brother Anah had just mentioned basically Esau is going to go out of power, through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, so hey, when you read this chapter, it basically goes into how all the armies are going to be basically trembling really the whole world is going to be trembling at his presence. Yeah. Because he's going to have the angels with him. He's going to come back, in magnificence and glory. And it says, and also, and with violence, as the scripture says as well. But it says, verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held a sword nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Yeah, so basically, just going into Yahweh Shai destroying, this earth. All right, and then simultaneously he's going to be, or shortly after he's going to deliver the elect. That's the point.
Okay. Matter of fact, I'll read here. This is Revelations, and we can end off here. You can break it down. This is Revelations chapter 18. I'll start at verse 5 and read down. It says, for her sins have reached up unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities.
Yeah, and her is talking about America, Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously,
so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Right, that's the so-called white man's attitude. Like the brother quoted Psalms 49:11. The inward thought is that the house shall continue forever. So the so-called white man thinks America is going to continue to rule for years and years and centuries to come. But the scriptures say otherwise, man. Go ahead.
It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire, for strong is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua who judgeth her.
That's right. It shall be said utterly burnt with fire, which is going to come, if you don't know, all right, by the way of thermonuclear missiles, man. That's the basically the judgment written to come upon Babylon the Great, man. We're approaching that time, rapidly, man. Was there any more?
Nah, that was more.
That was it.
That was going on.
All right.
We could go more.
Yeah, you supposed to.
Hey, but with that, man, for brothers, continue to push and remember, man, this ain't the season for us to get weak, for us to say you tired, saying you hurt, saying making up any excuses. And I'm saying this for myself as well, man. This is the time in which we're supposed to push harder. Esau was really finna come. Esau's finna get into his bag, man. We've come into the winter season now. We have winter solstice coming up in next month? Yeah, we in November now. So Esau's finna do his thing on his side, man. We gotta do ours on our side, man. Right. Esau's on his last leg, and when you see somebody on their last leg, you see a person dazed in a fight, you see them taking any slack up. You're supposed to apply more pressure, man, and get the knockout. Get this guy up out of here, man. And the only way we can do that is by continuing to push, man, and exhorting each other to continue to fight, man. But with that, we want to end off by giving all glory and infinite praises unto
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakapadash.
Double honors to our apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. They're teaching that rule well. And until the next time, shalom.
Shalom.